free as anyone is today, pal.
How much to downtown?
$15 plus tip. That should work out to around $22.
What'd you tell her about me?
Nothing. And don't mention you were working in television. She hates it.
But what do I tell her I've been doing the past 10 years?
Tell her you were in jail.
You can go right in, Mr. Hume.
Thanks.
Sure.
That her?
No, her dog, who she keeps with her constantly.
Constantly.
Barney, quiet. Now, a 10-letter word meaning high ground.
Why don't you get a dictionary?
Are you trying to impress me with rudeness?
May I present Lou Grant? This is Mrs. Pinchon. I think he may just possibly be the man for the city desk.
Are you recommending him, Mr. Hume?
Naturally, your instincts in these matters are infallible.
Nonsense. Only my husband was infallible. He was wrong 60% of the time. You look like you're about to throw a punch.
It's a suit.
Oh, we've had 3 men at the city desk in the last 8 months.
I told him.
One of them died in the men's room. One quit, and I fired the third.
Why'd you fire him?
I didn't like him. I didn't like the one who died in the men's room either. Oh, Barney. Hush, baby. No. No, calm now. Yes, you little dog. You like dogs?
Yeah, I like dogs. Big dogs.
Thank you for coming, Mr. Grant.
Mrs. Pinchon, I've spent several weeks reviewing candidates for this job, and I'm inclined... It seems to me, I feel very strongly that Lou would be the best possible man for the job, and I'd like to go with him. I think.
Then hire him.
Okay? Thanks. Congratulations.
Promontory.
I beg your pardon.
10-letter word meaning high ground.
The word is escarpment.
That doesn't strictly mean high ground.
Perhaps not, Mr. Grant, but I happen to like it.
Won't fit the other words.
You don't know me very well. I'll make it fit.
Lou, trust me, I know Mrs. Pinchon's feelings about this kind of story at this particular time.
Well, can I go to her?
Go to her? Of course you can go to her. You mean go to her?
Mr. Grant, I have enough pressures from politicians and labor unions and churches and schools and Italian Americans and Polish Americans and Mexican Americans, all incensed at one time or another because of something we printed or didn't print. When we moved the bridge column, and the day that we kissed off little Orphan Annie, do you realize how many threats I received against my life?
Mrs. Pinchon, there's a...
No, Mr. Grant, I don't need you to generate any heat. I get enough of that from my family, for want of a more descriptive word. I have 2 nephews, each more disgusting than the other, each masking his avarice in solicitous murmurings and constant pressures and little whisperings to sell this building, sell this paper that I love, and invest in something more sensitive, more lucrative, like taco stands. A whole greasy chain of them, stretching like the Great Wall of China. From San Ysidro all the way to the Oregon border. I mean, who knows? Maybe beyond. Taco stands, Mr. Grant. And a few shares of majority stock I hold is my only shield between this once great paper and a 1,000-mile ribbon of inedible enchiladas.
I feel like a tin roof in a hailstorm.
Really? Well, I hadn't even gotten to you yet.
Yeah, well, I came up here to talk about a difference of opinion I'm having with Charlie Hume over a story.
I am aware of that, and I understand that you left the city desk just before deadline yesterday and you didn't come back for 2 hours.
What do you want to talk about? You want to talk about journalism, or you want to talk about how long I take for lunch?
Fine. Let's talk about journalism. Now, I think people are tired of reading negative stories about their police. I'm tired of it.
You mean we're not going to run this story just because you don't happen to like it?
That's right, Mr. Grant. You know, we don't print everything that happens. It's a constant, selective process. I mean, you do it 100 times a day.
That's my job, deciding what's important and what isn't. And this story is important. I don't hold the story back just because I don't like it.
Look, the difference between you and me is that you run the city desk and I own this paper. And we often hold back stories I do not like. Can you accept that, Mr. Grant?
You hired me to do a job. You said you wanted someone with a point of view, with a strong point of view. You didn't say you wanted it to be yours.
You didn't quit?
I think she's going to fire me. She's probably up there right now dictating my obit.
I never said you wouldn't make a fine delivery boy.
Look at the front page.
Oh, my God. She ran my story.
Well, well. We work on a newspaper. A real newspaper.
You need a lift?
Oh. That's very nice of you. But I have to look at a house I may rent. The lady said it's very cute and it's very Spanish. It's in some place called Silver Lake.
Oh, well, get in. I'll drive you.
Well, it's in Silver Lake. Are you sure it isn't out of your way?
Oh, as a matter of fact, it is. I'll see you tomorrow.